Imagine being able to always push yourself to new heights, where every action becomes deliberate and your focus never strays from self improvement. It's not a distant dream, it's right in front of you. The path to that level of performance is clearer than you think. You just need the right tools. The top athletes, leaders, and innovators did not get there by chance. They built themselves up through the discipline, passion, and focus. And now you can do the same. In this discussion, you will discover the hidden secrets that drive world class success. Whether it's Kobe Bryant's relentless commitment to practice, Mark Cuban's obsessive preparation, or Stephen Curry's mental toughness, these high performance secrets will show you how to raise your standards and keep pushing past your limits. By the time you are done, you will be ready to take action and start leveling up in every area of your life. This is your chance to step into greatness. High achievers are often admired for their talent and accomplishments, but beneath these visible traits lies something deeper driving their success. What truly sustains their performance is a foundation built on consistent habits and mindsets that shape their everyday actions. Two key qualities, self awareness and discipline, are central to the success of top performers. Self awareness is especially important for meaningful progress. It involves knowing yourself, understanding your motivations, and recognizing both your strengths and weaknesses. With this clarity, you can focus your efforts on what truly matters. In fact, as you look more closely to the pursuit of excellence, you will see that self awareness is the main thing that guides personal growth and forms the basis for lasting success. Kobe Bryant's legendary 4 a.m. workouts are a perfect example of self awareness in action. While most were still asleep, Bryant was already practicing the basics. Drenched in sweat, in one session, he spent 45 minutes focused solely on his footwork, the most fundamental aspect of basketball. When asked why someone at his level would spend so much time on such basic drills, he answered simply, "Why do you think I am the best? Because I never get bored with the basics." Bryant understood that mastery is built from relentless attention to the fundamentals, and that's where self awareness comes in. He knew his strengths and weaknesses, and he knew that continuing to hone the essentials was the key to staying sharp. Top performers in any field share this trait. They focus their energy where it matters the most. Like Bryant, they have a clear sense of where they are and what they need to do to improve, allowing them to grow even when others might feel they have already arrived. But self awareness alone isn't enough. Discipline is what turns this understanding into action. It's the ability to focus deeply without distraction on the tasks that really matter. In a world of constant interruptions, this skill is rare, but it's what sets elite performers apart. They build systems to protect their focus, creating blocks of time dedicated to deep, uninterrupted work. Mark Cuban's early career illustrates this kind of discipline. Before becoming a billionaire, he spent his evenings reading software manuals cover to cover, while others were so out socializing. He wasn't just working hard, he was working with intention. This daily discipline built what he calls a knowledge advantage, a powerful edge that comes from knowing more than your competitors. By absorbing every detail, he became more prepared, more informed, and able to support opportunities others missed, which later led to the success many saw as sudden. To build success, use discipline to focus on daily habits that align with your goals. Start by identifying the key fundamentals in your field, whether it's a basketball player's footwork or a coder's understanding of structure. Create time for deliberate practice and measure your progress by how well you stick to the process, not by immediate results. And that's the crux of it. When it boils down to it, success is about mastering the ordinary with extraordinary focus and discipline. Not just simply doing extraordinary things. The basics always work, and they always will. Your challenge is to stay committed to them, finding strength in both self awareness and discipline as you work toward lasting excellence. After mastering the fundamentals of self awareness and discipline, the next key element for high level success is building up your confidence. This is something much deeper than just natural charisma or boldness. It's the kind of confidence that comes from preparation. It's important to recognize that confidence in elite performers is a skill, not a personality trait. For example, when Cuban enters a negotiation room, he carries what might appear to be a natural, innate confidence. But there is a deeper truth. His confidence doesn't come from some innate trait, but from the fact that he consistently outworks others and spends more time learning than anyone else. Even as a billionaire, he makes sure he is the most prepared person in the room. What appears to be effortless self assurance is really the result of countless hours of preparation behind the scenes. This kind of preparation leads directly into how high performers manage their biggest internal challenge, self doubt. One of the most closely guarded secrets of elite performance isn't that they lack doubt, but that they have learned how to handle it. A striking example comes from the Stratton Mountain Challenge, where participants faced brutal physical demands, climbing an 80-yard hill 17 times to mimic the ascent of Mount Everest. When exhaustion set in, those who finished weren't even the fittest members of the groups. Instead, they were the ones who mastered their inner dialogue. And that's precisely the point. Elite confidence is much more than eliminating your sense of doubt. You need to develop specific strategies to perform despite it. Top achievers have discovered that trying to silence the inner critic is less effective than learning to work with it. They have mastered the art of reframing negative thoughts, turning I can't into I can't yet, and impossible into this is impossible until I figure it out. Perhaps the most powerful secret of confidence building comes from the world of professional sports, where athletes use what psychologists call pressure proofing, creating such robust preparation that performance becomes automatic under stress. Steve Curry's little known pre game routine is a good example. While others usually warm up, he follows a secret protocol, not just making five free throws, but switching five consecutive shots, establishing a standard of excellence that becomes his baseline. These principles can transform any high pressure situation in your life. The secret lies in creating practice conditions that mirror or exceed the actual pressure you will face. Do not just rehearse until you can succeed, practice until you can't fail. Build your confidence through progressive challenges, each slightly more demanding than the last. Remember, the greatness Remember, the greatest secret of confidence is that it's not an inherent quality but a skill built through deliberate action. Elite performers have mastered the art of performing brilliantly despite their doubts. This is the hidden pathway from hoping for success to knowing you are prepared for any challenge. In 1994, Jeff Bezos spotted something in the data that changed everything. Internet usage was growing by 2300% a year. While others saw a fascinating statistic, Bezos saw the future of retail unfolding before his eyes. But here is where the true secret of visionary leadership reveals itself. Seeing the future wasn't enough. He had to make others see it too. The story of Amazon's early days illuminates the essence of transformative vision. When Bezos approached investors with his idea of an everything store, starting with books, most thought he was delusional. But he understood something fundamental about vision. You do not have to be right about every detail. You just need to be right about the direction. Be stubborn on vision, flexible on details, became his mantra, allowing Amazon to pivot and adapt while never losing sight of its ultimate destination. This pattern of visionary insight, followed by relentless execution, appears repeatedly among elite performers. For instance, Reed Hastings transformed Netflix from a DVD by mail service into a streaming giant. His initial vision, becoming HBO before HBO can become us, seemed absurd to many. Yet he saw beyond the immediate constraints of technology and market readiness, understanding that the future of entertainment would be digital and on demand. But perhaps the most revealing case study comes from sports, where Daryl Morey of Houston Rockets revolutionized basketball through analytics, while other teams relied on traditional statistics and gut feelings. Morey quietly built a system that would transform how the game was played and understood. His vision wasn't just numbers, though it was how he saw patterns that others missed and had the courage to act on them, despite widespread skepticism. You can probably tell by now that visionary leadership requires a delicate balance. This is why it's imperative to cultivate what Steve Jobs called a reality distortion field. This being the ability to imagine possibilities beyond current constraints while remaining grounded enough to execute effectively. Jobs' vision of technology that was both powerful and simple seemed impossible to many, yet his ability to communicate this vision transformed it into reality. Think of vision like a telescope. It helps you see far, but it also helps others see what you see. Great visionaries chart the course while making sure the destination is so vivid and compelling that others naturally want to help build the path to get there. Ultimately, true visionary leadership is more about creating the future than predicting it, and it happens not through grand proclamations but through the patient work of turning bold ideas into achievable steps while keeping the large dream alive in others. By simultaneously believing in yourself while making others believe in you too. I'm always going to be here for you. These weren't empty words from a motivational poster. They came from Greg Popovich in the middle of what could have been a franchise destroying crisis. His star player LaMarcus Aldridge had just requested a trade, a moment when most coaches would flex their authority or react defensively. Instead, Pope did something that flipped the traditional power dynamic on its head. He took full blame for the situation. This story cuts to the heart of what might be the most misunderstood secret in his high performance. Leadership. True power often flows in the opposite direction we expect. While conventional wisdom tells us leaders should project strength and authority, the highest performers have discovered something far more potent, the transformative impact of putting others first. This same approach appears in the leadership style of Duke University's coach K. While his champions are well known, many overlooks his personal attention to even the smallest details, like replying to letters from unknown high school coaches. These responses aren't just about kindness; they show an understanding that real influence comes from genuine connection. His leadership secret, making every person he interacts with feel valued and is as if they are the most important person in the room. Another example is Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz. During a major product recall that could have been a disastrous, he ended up personally calling affected customers and took full responsibility for the issue. This was more than damage control. It was a demonstration of character during a crisis. His actions built trust and loyalty in a way that went beyond standard corporate responses. These stories share a common theme. Power doesn't come from titles or positions, but from the willingness to serve others. It's a shift in mindset. Instead of focusing on what a team can do for you, focus on what you can do for the team. Be available, clear obstacles, and take responsibility when things go wrong. To be like Kevin Durant, who refers to himself as the servant, understand that lifting others leads to collective success. Picture stepping into the Golden State Warriors practice gym at the crack of dawn. What unfolds is more than a basketball routine. It's a coordinated dance of precision and connection. Players flow together, reading each other through quick glances and subtle gestures, moving in sync as if they have rehearsed this moment for years. This kind of teamwork happens when individual talent blends into a united force. The science behind elite team performance reveals itself in unexpected places. Consider a puzzling experiment where kindergartners consistently outperformed MBA students in building towers. The children, unburdened by egos and status concerns, naturally feel into effective collaboration patterns. Their secret: they weren't trying to prove their individual worth, they were completely absorbed in the collective challenge. Google discovered something similar with this engineering teams. Despite hiring brilliant minds, teams often struggled. The solution was surprisingly simple: disagree and commit. This phrase unlocked a new way of handling conflict, allowing strong personalities to voice dissent while maintaining group momentum. When Amazon adopted this practice, they found it worked just as well in retail as it did in tech, proving that the principles of team excellence transcend industry boundaries. Perhaps the most revealing insight come from moments of failure. After a devastating loss in the 2013 NBA Finals, the San Antonio Spurs did not retreat to separate corners. Coach Popovich gathered the team for dinner, understanding that shared pain properly channeled create stronger bonds than shared success. He focused on transforming individual disappointment into collective resilience. The Warriors also mastered this principle and took it even further. Their practice go beyond plays and drills, emphasizing the kind of trust that enables players to anticipate each other's move instinctively. Through countless hours of practice and repetition, they honed the ability to read micro expressions and sense shifts in body language. Ultimately, the remarkable nature of elite teams comes from the environments they create, where personal ambition fuels collective success. When this happens, teams operate at a level far beyond what any single player could achieve alone. It's a transformation built on trust, communication, and relentless practice. In this discussion, To Raise Your Game by Alan Stein Jr. and John Sternfield, you have learned that high performers comes from cultivating specific habits and mindsets that consistently push the best to the top. It starts with self-awareness and discipline, as shown by Kobe Bryant's 4 a.m. workouts. His dedication to mastering the basics reflects a deep understanding of his strengths and areas of growth. This self-awareness is the foundation that guides progress. Discipline turns awareness into focused action. Mark Cuban's constant preparation, such as spending evenings reading software manuals, built his knowledge advantage, giving him an edge over competitors. Next comes confidence, born from preparation. Stephen Curry's precise pre-game routines demonstrate how deliberate practice under pressure builds a mindset ready for any challenge. Visionary leadership follows as Jeff Bezos' foresight with Amazon shows, seeing further possibilities coupled with adaptable execution drives transformative success. And finally, remember that true leadership flows from service. Greg Popovich's team first approach highlights the power of putting others ahead of oneself, leading to the collective excellence. These principles unite the elite into teams driven by trust, communication, and sharp vision. Okay, that's it for today. We hope you enjoyed it. If you can, please subscribe the channel and leave us a rating. We always appreciate your feedback. See you in the next one.